Can you sort of talk about where you were and what was going on when you got this call to fight Efe Ajagba and coming off your last fight against Frank Sanchez? How quickly did you jump at that opportunity?
We're always training, man. So we try to stay ready for whatever opportunity comes our way, and we try to make the best of it every time out.
And you know, can you talk about you're a guy that, as we mentioned on the call, no stranger pulling off the heavyweight upset, no stranger coming in as the quote unquote B side against that undefeated prospect. Can you talk about the confidence you have knowing that, listen, against a guy like Carlos Negron, you put him out in a round, you've done it before. Can you talk about the confidence that a win like that can give you as you head into a fight against a guy like Efe Ajagba?
Oh man, it gives me great confidence knowing that I could step up to the heavyweight division and punch with the big guys. So it was a challenge, but that was what motivated me.
And as I said, guys, please, you can ask questions, raise your hand in the chat. If you cannot figure that out, send me a private message in the Zoom chat, and I will get you in the queue and you get your questions asked as soon as possible. Jake Donovan, please. Jake, I think Jake just left it. Jake was going to ask a question, and then, there he is. Jake Donovan, raise hand. Please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Great. Thank you very much, Evan. Brian, welcome back to the ring. I know it's getting that win over Carlos Negron, my wife's cousin-in-law, for the record. So I was a little upset when you got that win. But how frustrating was it for you that you actually didn't get to cash in on that opportunity?
The Frank Sanchez opportunities, that's what you're speaking about?
No. When you knocked out Carlos Negron, that you had to sit out for more than a year after that big win.
Oh man, that was the most frustrating part. Coming in, beating a guy that they picked to beat me. Ex-Olympian. It was a good opportunity. I made the best I could of the opportunity. That night at the Barclays Center, it was great ambiance. But having to sit out for so long and not be able to keep moving, that was real frustrating. It was real challenging.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that night we finally got to see the best of what you had to offer. I've been following you for a very long time, and that was like the first night where we got to see like your full potential. Do you feel like people kind of got a false sense of like you going into the Frank Sanchez fight? They feel like maybe this is the guy that's going to show up in April, and not the guy that knocked out Carlos Negron.
Ask that question again.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to rephrase it. Do you feel like people got a false sense of what you're about from your last fight with Frank Sanchez, and not really that the guy who knocked out Carlos Negron is what you're really about?
Nah, they didn't. To know, I don't want to take anything away from Frank, but Frank was a good guy. But I went into that fight with an injury. I had broke my finger on my jab hand, so I couldn't get any rhythm with my jab. But they had a great game plan, and he capitalized off of it. But and I'm not gonna fall back on the injury because I could have said I could have not taken the fight. But it was some people that they was behind me, so they pushed hard for me to get the opportunity. So I just didn't want to disappoint anybody. But as
my final question.
As far as your question, they didn't get to see the full spectrum of Brian Howard. Because I've come pretty much full circle with my fight game. My footwork has gotten better. My defense is way better than what it was in that fight. So and plus my hand speed is I honestly I think the only heavyweight that could probably match my hand speed would probably be Andy Ruiz.
Jake, you have one more question, or you good?
Hello, can you hear me?
Jake?
I'm good. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you very much, Jake. Now we go ahead to Alan Alford, who has his hand raised. Alan, please go ahead when ready.
Yes, Mr. Howard, thank you for joining with us today. And you're welcome. And my question to you would be, with the fight that you have coming up, you're fighting a Ajagba who's not a joke. So fans that care about you and fans that are looking out for you, what can you say to them that are worried about you in this fight?
They don't need to be worried about me in a fight, man. You know, this is boxing. You know, you either it's all part of the job. You know, so I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be fine. I just want them to wish me the best. You know, and root for me, win, lose, or draw.
And Brian, you obviously you're no mistake, you're coming in as the underdog, but did you expect to get, obviously you mentioned there were some things in the Frank Sanchez fight that you didn't go in 100%, but the result was a result. Did you expect to get an opportunity like this so soon after the fight, or did this come as a bit of a surprise for you?
Yes, it was a bit of a surprise. We had been trying to fight Ajagba early on last year, but he kept turning the fight down for whatever reason. So yes, it was a surprise that they even called me with the opportunity and the offer.
You claim that they turn you down. Why do you think? I mean, obviously that's more of a question for Efe, but why do you think they thought the time was right to face you right now?
Honestly, I think it was the Frank Sanchez loss. To be honest.
So they saw something, and you're trying to prove that what they saw they didn't really see. Is that what you're saying, Brian?
Absolutely.
And we're going to keep going to the questions. Carlos Toro, please unmute yourself and ask your question when ready.
Hey, Brian, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Heading into this fight, obviously you have you're no stranger to coming off of losses and knocking out guys in the very first round. I mean, talk to me about the level of confidence that, and ability in yourself to be able to sort of bounce back from those losses and pull up upsets like the one that you had against Carlos Negron. Do you kind of find yourself in a similar type of situation as you did when you fought Carlos?
Say that again now.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you feel that, confidence-wise and mentality, do you feel that you're sort of in a similar situation where you have to prove to a lot of people that you're still a heavyweight to be feared when you first fought Carlos Negron coming out of the loss a couple of years ago?
Yes, I do. I have absolutely no problem bouncing back from losses. I take my losses just like I take my wins. And I actually learn more from my losses than I do from my wins. So, and we go back to the drawing board with every loss, and we work on, what the mistakes that were made, and we fix and we improve and we move forward. But my mentality is my mentality. It's not going to change. I'm never going to doubt myself because I take a loss, whether it be knockout, whether it be stoppage, or whether I lose by decision. My confidence is going to always be up.
Well, thank you, Carlos, and thank you, Brian, for joining us today. We've got Maxime Vlasov on the line, so we're gonna get to the to one half of the main event. But Brian, before you go, any final words you'd like to say to the fans, the media, as you approach the biggest test of your career Saturday night?
I just want everybody to wish me luck, my man. That's about it. Just wish me luck. Root for me, stay on my side. Give me, even though the stadium is probably going to be, no fans there, but I want to feed off everybody's energy and put forth my best effort.